Good evening, everybody, and welcome to JPR for a pre-season race for the upcoming Season 7. We're at Portimão for what's going to be a sprint race followed by a 35% race. So I believe it's 8 laps and is it 22? I'm not sure. It's going to be a full quali session. 16 drivers on the grid. So one driver will be eliminated from Q1. Everyone does need to go out and set a lap time. This is a good preview for Season 7. A look at the new lineups, new teammates. And obviously we may get an indication of who's really quick going into this new season on a brand new game. At the moment we ride with the Aston Martin Top Gun. Lots of cars out on and out lap, not Shumi in the McLaren. Another one out on track, J-Boy for AlphaTauri. Both Red Bulls out on circuit. Making space, making sure they don't run into each other on the fast lap. RZDV still sitting in the pit lane, nothing from him. AD out on track. Let's get some stats up on the screen. Not those. Staffy first man over the line. He sets a 1:19.7 as a benchmark for Q1. That's the first timed lap of the night. Eno goes over the line, 1:21.9. Here is the AlphaTauri of J-Boy. Looks like he has done a lap, but there is no time next to it, so must have been invalidated. Means he has to go around again. MJ currently 5th. Something also looks like it went wrong on that lap, a 1:24.0. Just the 5 drivers. As I say, that's 6 drivers. So have set lap times. Ulrich goes into 2nd, Shane 1st. His lap times are 17.5. I expect those times to come down. Still waiting for lap times from 9 of the drivers. Destroyer over the line, 1:18.2. Still a big gap between 1st and 2nd, 7 tenths. Shakes up to 3rd, Ulrich down to 4th. Staffy in 5th for now. Last season's commentator, Apmagozi, he's in 7th place with a 120.9. Then we have Heno, 10th, and not Shumi yet to set a lap time. So 1:33.8. We're riding on board with RZDB. Mercedes driver yet to set a lap time. And he's backed off. Not sure if this is a outlap, but he's definitely backed off. A lot of guys have now set that benchmark time and they're on their way into the pits to have that have an in-lap. Not too much action out on track right now. Oh wow, I'm not sure if that's the internet or if that's the game. Sorry for that, that's some frame rates. The Aston Martin 7th and 8th. Staffy still with that first time of a 1:19.777. Let me know in the comments if you can. Can you hear me? And obviously, what does the game sound like? This is a test for me just as much as it is for them out there. So just let me know what the sound sounds like. Shane in the pits, fastest man on track so far, 1:17.5. He doesn't look like he's going to go out and improve. Stroyer improves, but only slightly. Doesn't improve position, stays third. Shapes looks like he's starting a fast lap. Right on board with the Alpine. Improves on his personal best in sector 1. I think a mid 1:18 should be safe. Rob has crossed the line at a 1:18.3. Sure, he's got more than that. But it's Q1. It's not time to show all your cards just yet. And please bear with me. It's been quite some time since I've tried to commentate on a race, so there's the occasional awkward silence, or if I'm not catching all the action on track, give me a chance, I'll get back into it. Shakes was able to improve in that Alpine. He goes up to third, that's a 1:17.9. So the times there in the top 3 are getting a little closer. And doesn't have that huge advantage he had at the beginning of the session. Just 2/10 down to not Shumi. Staffy going around the final corner. Is he coming into the pits or is that a timed lap? Seems like it's a timed lap. No. I believe that was an outlap. Either it was an outlap or something went very wrong. Obviously this is Q1, top 15 drivers will go through to the next session. We do have 16 drivers, so unfortunately we will lose the one. At the moment, driver at risk is Heno. He's going to have to find himself just under a second to get himself into that top 15. And that's if Atmagosi is not able to improve. Currently 15th and just holding on to this Q1 session. Let's ride with the Red Bull. Currently fastest time of the night, 1:17.5. Seems to be on an outlap. Obviously going to try and improve on that 1:17.5. Doubt he's using new tyres. This is probably on the same set as he did that original lap. But he's coming to the pits. That's a 1:17.5. It's going to stay that way. Not Shumi 1:17.7. And Ulrich, he improved to a 1:17.8 and looks like he's happy with that time because he's retired from the session. And Top Dog, second McLaren, has just joined the session. So we now have 17 drivers. He's going to have to get out there very quickly. He's just got just over 5 minutes. Get himself in the car, find his setup and get out on track. But seems the second McLaren has just joined the lobby. So not Shumi's teammate does show up just in time. Seems like Heno has retired from the session, so he's not going to improve. Heno will be one of the cars eliminated from this session. And then obviously Top Dog, who has just joined the session, will he be able to get out and set a lap time? Otherwise, he will also be eliminated if he doesn't get out in the next 4 minutes. But no activity from him so far. He sits in the pits. This is the other Ferrari driver, trying not to get eliminated himself, but he's got a low 119, should be safe. Just out there trying to improve, maybe trying to get an extra lap or two in before the race, using it as a bit of practice. And well, that's why you need to practice. A few parts of this track can be tricky, especially on acceleration. Get a bit too greedy, looking for that extra time, jump on the pedal a little too early, and it's too late. Especially the exit of that hairpin. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's watching. Got a decent view count for a pre-season race. And obviously everyone in the comments, thanks for joining. Making sure I don't get too lonely. Natsumi still second, 1:17.7. Hasn't been able to improve on that initial time. Let's see if he's going to improve on it now as he goes into the final corner. Such a fast corner is so important to commit to that corner, otherwise you will not get the speed down the straight, and he has done exactly that. He goes faster by 0.2 of a second, improves on Shane to 17.3. But Shane will be happy with the 17.5, as will Ulrich with the 17.8. They're all comfortable. So they have retired from the session. Hopefully in the pits and not on the track. Top Dog did make it out. He's out on circuit, has not set a lap time. Now don't take these times too seriously. This is not a true indication of speed. Wait until Q3 when there's just 10 of them left and they're fighting for pole. I can guarantee you, maybe not guarantee you, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to have a pole position in the 117s. If you have 117.3 in Q3, I think there's a lot more coming. Hello Staffy, how are you there in the comment section? Giving me my first thumbs up. Thank you there. Staffy entered the comment section by booing me like Lewis Hamilton a couple of years back, and Max Verstappen now. Top Dog was able to set a lap time. He set a 1:18.3, which puts him comfortably inside the top 10, goes up to 7th. Two cars lined up to be eliminated, and they have retired from the session, so nothing will change. That's J-Boy 16, Heno 17. So MJ is going to scrape into Q2. There wasn't much in it, just a 10th. Magosi retiring from the session, everybody now realizing that they are safe. Just the two cars still out on circuit. Top Dog 7th, Destroyer 5th. Top Dog on an in lap. Let's ride with Destroyer. Here we go around the final corner onto that straight. Don't want to run too wide over that curve, otherwise it's going to invalidate. And well, cuts away just at the wrong time. Did he improve? Stays 5th. But that's good enough. Well, there we go. There's your results from Q1. Natsumi topping the times, 1:17.3, followed by Shane 17.5, and then Ulrich with a 17.8. Just half a second between the top three. Shakes in 4th, Destroyer 5th, Nick in 6th, Top Dog 7th, RZDV in 8th, Top Gun 9th, Wezo 10th, and then outside the top 10 we have AD in 11th, Staffy 12th, Yaku 13th, Upmagozi 14th, and where's the rest of the screen? There we go. 15th, Moritz just making it, and the two cars eliminated, J-Boy and Heno. Got that in just in time. Right, next session, Q2. See a few more viewers have joined, so if you missed Q1, welcome. JPR pre-season for season 7, and we've just gone into Q2. Two cars eliminated in the last session were Heno and J-Boy. Means we have 15 cars remaining, 5 will be eliminated. So the stakes are much higher in Q2 to set that lap time. 5 cars will be eliminated in the next 15 minutes. Someone is leaving the pits. Let's have a look if we can see who that is. Ulrich out on track, Wezo out on track, as is Yaku. Staffy out on track. Lots of action early on, wanting to go out there, set that benchmark. Really easy to make a mistake out there on your fast lap. Don't want to wait too late in the session and leave yourself with one go. The judge, welcome. Welcome to the stream, the pre-season stream. And hopefully this will give us an indication of what Season 7 Championship is going to look like. So hopefully a close race. Sprint race should be interesting. Just 8 laps. So obviously no pit stop, no tyre change required, just 8 laps from start to finish. I think that one may be interesting. Really short, really quick. We'll break that little bit later, take that little bit of an extra risk. That's what the sprint tempts you to do. Yaku in the Williams. 2 DRS drivers, both in the Williams. No lap times as of yet. Yaku does set a purple sector 2. I think he is going to be the first man over the line, so he will have that first purple lap time. Well, Judge, I only see one horse, so I'm not sure where the second one is. Maybe it's waiting for you. Judge asking where is his horse. Well, there is a horse missing. Yaku is the first man over the line. He sets a 1:19.6. His teammate was right behind him. Let's see what he can do. Beats him. Oh, I thought that was a little closer. I didn't see the 8. That's a 1:18.5. And then Nick Gishin, a 1:17.2. And there we go. That's already faster than the quickest time we had in Q1. So lap times are definitely going to be coming down. Top Gun for Aston Martin in 6th. He hasn't set a lap time. So far we have a Alpine front row, 1st and 2nd, RZDV 3rd, AD pops it into 4th, nicely done, a 1:18.2, and I know he's got more than that. He can put them into the 1:17s. Let's ride with somebody who hasn't set a lap time yet. Not Shumi, you are the chosen one. We ride with Not Shumi on board. That's that exit of the tricky hairpin you don't want to get wrong. Ulrich goes fastest with a 1:17.6. He's a 10th of a second faster. Then Nick Gishin breaks that front row Alpine, all Alpine front row rather. Shumi committing to that final corner. He's going to go over the line and set his first lap. It's a 1:17.9. I believe anything in the 1:17 should probably be safe to get you into Q3. some pretty quick times for benchmark laps. And there we go, that's the quickest one we've seen. That's a 1:17.3. Shane in the Red Bull. It's a championship contender in last season. Probably just missed out because didn't have the start to the season he would have liked. Could have been a very different result. Obviously that championship went to a man who's sitting in the pits on a 1:18.1. That was RZDV. But we don't know how pace is going to translate on this game. Are all the same people who were quick on the last game going to be quick on this one, and vice versa? So who's got a bit of a disadvantage and who's gained a bit of an advantage? Most people I've spoken to say they love the way the car seals on this game, yet I can't drive it. So that's why I'm not driving, and I'm just talking about the ones that do. There's Shane out on track, but he's going slowly, obviously going into the pits. So the only car out on track now is Atmagosi. The voice you were expecting to hear when you tuned in tonight. And he too comes into the pits, so no action out on track at this point in time. And everybody in the pits. Top Dog did retire from the session. I believe that may have been a quali penalty for his first race. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. But that means 4 cars will still get eliminated. Currently those 4 cars, Safi for Aston Martin, Yaku for Williams, Moritz in the second Red Bull, and Atmagosi in the second Mercedes-Benz. As I say that, Staffy gets out on circuit. Going to be looking to improve on that time. Currently he's got a 1:19.4. Get himself into the top 10, he's going to have to find himself a minimum of half a second. That'll give him a 1:18.9. It'll be good enough for only 10th. So he's going to have to find a little bit more time than that if he wants to be comfortably inside the top 10. I think these lap times are going to still come down a lot, more than 5 minutes remaining. Two Aston Martins, the only cars out on circuit. Top Gun, he's in 10th. He is safe for now, but at very high risk. Oh, and as we go on board with his teammate Staffy, so easy to lose it around here. Really got to commit to those final corners. If you don't, you're not fast enough. If you do, you may crash. Not sure what happened there, but Staffy has been disqualified from the session. Which, if I'm not mistaken, means he will start from last on the grid. He will start 17. Not sure if he was stationary for too long or if he drove backwards on the circuit. Not sure what that was, but it didn't seem like he was stationary for too long. Nevertheless, qualified from the session. 3 cars out on circuit. Those are Ulrich, Top Gun and Moritz, MJ, or as I like to call him, Mazepin. Q2, 4 minutes remaining. Just a handful of cars out on circuit. Things looking very quiet at the moment. Apmagozi, one of those cars. It's in the second Mercedes-Benz, but now with that DSQ from Staffy and the retirement from Top Dog, it means just 3 cars are going to be at risk. At the moment, Yaku, MJ, and Apmagozi are those 3 drivers. All out on circuit, all looking for better laps. Shane remains the leader as a 1:17.3. He sits in the pits. Man in second place has taken to the tarmac, currently a 1:17.6. I still think anything in the 1:17s will probably get you into Q3. Don't see that changing. 10th place currently is a 1:18.9. Lap times will have to really come down in the next 3 minutes. Ulrich now not content with second place, starting another fast lap. Currently a 1:17.6, about 3/10 of a second off the pace. Let's have a look at the cars that are at risk. Yaku is at risk in that Williams. MJ at risk, but he's in the pits with 2 minutes remaining, so if he's gonna improve, he needs to get out there immediately. And then obviously Apmagozi, currently 13th. Needs to improve, needs to find, to improve position, needs to find half a second. To get into Q3, he's going to have to find about a second and a half. We have yellow flags in sector 1 and 3. Shakes has retired from the session, as has RZDV and Wezo. Yaku is out on circuit, he's safe, 1:18.7. Brought Top Gun down into those bottom 3. So he was able to improve. And the drivers behind him, they're in the pits with not enough time remaining, so I think everyone inside that top 10 is safe. And the lineup for Q3 has been settled. Well, if you look at the name, surely you see Mazepin. It starts with an M, ends with an N, and it's got a whole bunch of things in the middle. So, yeah. You're not really paying attention and you look at it quickly, it says Mazepin. So, sometimes he'll be MJ, and sometimes he'll be Mazepin. So that is going to be your top 10. Ulrich finishes top of the session with a 1:17.3. Just gets over Shaney right at the end there, just 900ths of a second. Shane second, Nick Gishin in third. Shakes fourth, so far second row Alpine. Then Natsumi in fifth, RZDV sixth, 87th. But there's more to come from him. Wezo in eighth, Destroyer ninth, and Yaku making the top 10 to go through to Q3. Cars eliminated, Top Gun, Moritz, Atmagozi. Destroyer. Sorry. That's not Destroyer. It's Top Dog and Staffy. Too many monitors. Here we go, Ulrich right at the end there, 900ths of a second. Destroyer down in third, just 0.3 of a second away. And look at that, top 4, 4/10, top 5, 5/10, top 6, 6/10. That's brilliant. 0.6 of a second, cover 6 cars. And then RZDV in 7th, 88th, Wezo 9th. Yaku making up the top 10. And we're back for Q3. Remember, each session gets shorter, so just 12 minutes in Q3. And this is the one that counts. No eliminations this time. This is going to set your top 10 for the race. Very quiet track at the moment. Quiet pit lane. Nothing happening. I see some mechanics running out. Who's that? Let's have a look. And some more mechanics running out, this time from Ferrari. Track's going to get busy in just a second. Haas, the first one out on track. That's the Haas of Ulrich. Followed by RZDV, followed by the 2 Williams. Track already becoming busy early on. And there we go, 6 cars out on track, 4 remain in the pits. Shakes Destroyer, Nick Gishin and Shane. Shane goes out in the pits, goes out of the pits too. So now 7 cars out on track. Busy circuit. Remember to make space for yourselves so no one runs into trouble on their fast lap. Is that a name recommendation? Mazza Spin. So I'll have to run it by him. Nine cars out of 10, all out on out laps. So in the next 2 minutes or so, you should have a timing screen that lights up with lap times. Only man not to have come out is Shakes for Alpine. He remained in the pits. He'll be waiting for that space in between runs when he can get an empty track for himself. Both Williams making it into Q3. Both Alpines making it into Q3. And I think those are the only teammates to make it into Q3. Yeah, that's right. It's 2 Alpines and 2 Williams. I'd say those are your 2 best performing teams so far. See how well they can put it up on the grid. Ulrich, the first one over the line. It's a 1:17.2. Quick time, quick benchmark, showing his intentions. Yaku goes second with a 1:18.2. Wezo a 1:18.3. Join AD as he goes around the final bend on his first timed lap of Q3. Let's see what he can come up with. And he does. He goes into the 117s. Told you he had a 117 in him. Very nicely put together lap time. 117.985. Was third briefly, but RZDV has removed him from that position. 117.8. 4 drivers in the 117s. Very nicely done. 2 Williams drivers just outside the 117s. Then not Shumi, still looking for that first lap. Not sure what happened on that timed lap. It was a 142. So he's obviously having another run. Stroyer in the pits. No lap time from him. So I'm not sure if he abandoned his lap. The only cars out on circuit at the moment. Actually, there's a lot of cars out on circuit at the moment. I'm just looking at the wrong thing. Apologies, I'm rusty. 3 cars yet to set lap times. Those are the 2 Alpines. They are out on circuit. And then obviously Destroyer, who is still in the pits. See what Chase can do. He's going over the line now. And there we go, 117.2, nicely done. Puts him comfortably in that top 3. And I wonder if you want pole position, if you're going to have to dip your toes into the 116s, because at the moment that's the way it looks. Actually asking for predictions on something new in this game, something that was introduced to F123, red flags. I haven't actually seen one yet, so should be interesting if we get one in this race. Predictions for the first red flag. Well, if it's gonna happen, it's going to happen in turn 1, and it's probably going to be the sprint race, because throw caution to the wind, it's 8 laps. When you're willing to take a little bit more risk. Obviously next week will be round 1 of season 7. We will be at the Red Bull Ring tonight. It's not for points, it's for preparation, getting ready, giving yourself an indicator of where you are going into the season and what you need to work on. Sure, a lot of these guys have already started their practice for Austria, doing a bit of time trial. You ride with Destroyer because he's one of 2 cars yet to set a lap time. Going around the final bend on what I suspect is an outlap. No, it wasn't. It was a fast lap. He too goes into the 117, so look at that. Really, really close. 80 on a 117.9. I thought that was a brilliant lap time, and it's only good enough for 7th. That's how close these lap times are. 0.8 of a second. Cover your top 7. Well, with 3.5 minutes to go, let me ask the comment section, who's going to get pole? Is anyone going to improve? Who's going to improve? And what do you think that pole time is going to be? 16.9? 116.8. Can they dip into the 16s? And if they can, how far can they dip into the 16s? Well, there's a prediction. Ulrich, no pressure. He hasn't been predicted for pole, he's been predicted for the win. Get on board with Shane on what seems to be the end of an outlap, starting probably his final run of Q3. Don't see him getting another run in. Currently a 1:17.4, good enough for 4th place. Brilliant lap time, but lap times are so close up there in the top 5. Top 7 in fact. Three cars currently sit outside of the 117s. Those are the two Williams on a 118.2 and a 118.3, and then Nick Gishin, who has not set. That as of yet. Steffi always entertaining in the comment section. I put up with it because I know when the race starts, he's going to go quiet, so I don't have to deal with it for too long. Over the line goes Shane. Does he improve? And oh yes, he does. It's a 1:16.699. Nicely done. He enjoyed that too. His mechanics aren't going to enjoy that at all. But nicely done. And you got that on the stream. Not Shumi in second. If he wants to take pole, he's going to have to pull something really impressive now. He's going to have to find himself half a second. Nick Gishin pops himself into second, becomes the second driver to go into the 1:16. You were saying he hadn't set the lap. Well, he was waiting, and there we go, second place, 1:16.9. Let's see what Natsumi can do as he goes over the line. Was that a preparation lap? Was it a fast lap? Well, the way he's attacking corner 1 seems like this is a fast lap. Currently a 1:17.1. He's going to have to find some serious time to get himself on pole. Shakes 1:17.2. Ulrich 1:17.2. Everyone's so close. I mean, look at Dorothy DV in the 1:17. What is that? A 1:17.8. He's in 8th place. Everyone looking to improve. We ride with Shakes. He's going to go over the line now. Does he improve on that 1:17.2? No, he doesn't. He stays 4th. Where is Ulrich? Ulrich is in sector 1. Nick just getting off the throttle there on the straight, giving up on that lap. Let's have a look. Natsumi will be the next car to go over the line. He's currently 3rd with that 1:17.1. Has he found any time? Does he improve? Yes, he does. He goes up to 2nd place, to the front row of the grid, 1:16.8. Nicely done. Not quite enough, but really close. And if that's an indication of the speeds we're going to see this season, I think it's going to be a really interesting one at that. Ulrich down in 6th at the moment. He's the only car out on track looking to improve. Everyone else's session has come to an end. This will be the final car over the line. Currently a 1:17.2, looking to improve. He does go faster, but we don't see how much faster because it cuts away, and there we go, 4th place for Ulrich. Very nicely done. That's going to be a 2nd row start for the 8-lap sprint race. This is going to be entertaining. Never actually commentated on a sprint race, so there we go. Your results. Shane in 1st with a 1:16.6. Then we've got Nochimi second, Nickish in third, Ulrich in fourth, RZDB fifth, Shakes in sixth, Destroyer seventh, F1AD in eighth. And then we have the two Williams in ninth and 10th. Ninth and 10th of Yaku and Wezo. And we are back. Welcome to Portimão, welcome to the formation lap of what will be an 8-lap sprint race. It's going to be an exciting one. Shane seems to be very far ahead of the field. Might want to slow down, otherwise he's going to have some pretty cool tyres going into turn 1. Shouldn't be too concerned about heavy fuel tanks. An 8-lap race should be fun. Poon also in the comments, thanks for joining us. He'll be out on track next week. It's confirmation that you won't be pulling out of Austria. Red Bull leads the field around. He's going to want to bunch that field up a little bit. Doesn't want to sit on the grid for too long. Here we go. First task of the race. Park your car properly. If not, it's going to shunt your car just a little bit backwards. Another advantage of parking your car properly in that purple zone is you can park it at a bit of an angle. As you see there from Nochimi in second place, he's pointing towards that Red Bull. And here we go, we're going to wait for the lights. It's 5 red lights. We wait for them and there we go. It's race underway here in Portugal. Great start by the Red Bull, great start by the McLaren, but even better start by the Alpine. Goes around the outside in turn 1, goes up to second place. Ulrich up into 4th already. And RZDV up into 5th already. We've got some action at the back of the track. Seems like AD has lost a few positions. He's down to 9th. Not sure what happened there. Don't see any damage on the car. Back at the front. Shane leads. Ready by 1.1 seconds. Don't want to let him get too far up the road. It's a short race. We might not see safety cars. Need to keep that Red Bull close. Reel him in. That's what Nick is trying to do. He's in second for Alpine. Ulrich currently third, not far behind. It's a bit of a train forming behind second place. Shane has that 1.5 second buffer. But for now, Nick keeping him honest. Gap just holding off at 1.4, 1.5, 1.3, staying stable for now. Really don't want that gap to go over 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then it just gets out of control. Remember, you only have 8 laps. Not quite sure what's happening with my timing screen, but you can see those times, and those times are clearly not right. Is that better? Not really. And that's why we test things. But I assure you that Natsumi is not a minute 15 seconds behind Ulrich. Shane still leads by 1.4 seconds. That gap staying solid for now. Ulrich third. Gap has increased between second and third. Ulrich just losing grip on that Alpine for now. Natsumi still fourth. DRS should activate soon, and we may see a shuffle in this train of cars. Currently led by Ulrich. Shane sets the fastest lap of the race. That's a 1:18.6. And I'm almost certain we'll see that even come down before the end of the race. Set the fastest lap, but it's not really showing in the gap. 1.4 seconds remains that gap between first and second. Wonder if Nick is maybe just trying to manage the tyres. Make sure he's got that little bit extra on the last lap or two. If you get reckless and you overheat the tyres, it becomes quite a difficult task to cool them down. Yeah, definitely. I mentioned that a few seconds ago, and just getting confirmation in the comment section that the times are broken. But if you look at them now, they seem to be, yeah, they seem to have sorted themselves out. I'm not sure what that was about, but new game, it's always entertaining what you're going to find. Nice shots of the Alfa Romeo as he goes over the start-finish line, currently in 6th. The only Alfa Romeo on the grid today, that is Destroyer. All 17 runners still in the race. Nice to see no retirements. Nick pushing hard, but now starting to lose touch with Shane. 2.1 seconds the gap, and Ulrich right on the back of him. So I wonder if he made a mistake, because he has lost almost a second to the leader, and he had a pretty comfortable gap down to third place. Obviously made a mistake under pressure. Joining Natsumi just at the right time, as he thought about going up the inside and then said, no, what am I doing? Tucks himself back behind the horse for now and looks for a better opportunity. Red Bull still leads from Alpine, followed by Haas. That's your top three. Natsumi down in 4th. He's right on the tail of that horse, looking for a way past. I think he has some extra pace, knows he's faster, desperate to get past, but at the moment the horse driver just putting that car in all the right places. And if you can see my timing screens, then you'll see that Natsumi, well, my timing screens. Ulrich has retired from the session. And we have our first safety car. So Ulrich pushing to the max. I missed that on our screens, I do apologize. We'll try and get better at catching the action, but seems like a few cars have retired. So Bit of a mess in the field. 3 cars retiring from the session, leaving 14 on the grid, and a safety car with not that many laps remaining. So I think we're going to get a 1-lap shootout. And if you're the leader, that's probably exactly what you don't want. Spend the race building up a gap, only to have abused those tyres and then have a train behind you with 1 lap to go. Not Shimmy going into the pits, maybe looking for fastest lap, I'm not sure, but he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to be 5 seconds, I believe. That's going to be interesting because a lot of cars have come into the pits. Obviously there is no mandatory pit stop in the sprint race, so the drivers that have chosen to stay out, they will be at the front of the field, and if they can stay at the front of the field by managing those tyres for 2 or 3 laps, will you look at that, 2 Williams are 4th and 5th. That's 2 of the cars that didn't pit. But obviously everyone that did pit is going to have some fresh softs, and they're going to be a handful. No sign of the safety car coming in just yet. Hope to see a message soon in the next few corners, and there we go, it's coming in this lap. And we'll be able to get underway. I think it'll be lap 7 of 8, which means we're going to have 2 laps remaining. It's going to be it was already an 8-lap sprint race. It was short enough. Now we're going to get a 2-lap sprint to the end. Shane, who had been leading this race, he was one of the cars that popped into the pits. He finds himself now in 9th. And he's going to have 2 laps to... Well, if he gets it right, he's going to have a lot of fun. Got to do a lot of passing. Here we are at the restart. Nick Gishin getting a good jump on the Mercedes of RZDV. Really building up a 1 second lead. And then we have the 2 Williams in 3rd and 4th. Staffy up to 5th. For Aston Martin, and Nat Magosi having a good day so far, 6th place. Let's see, where is Shane? He was your leader, and then he went into the pits for a fresh set, and now he finds himself in 7th place and needs to do something in the next couple of corners to make sure he doesn't finish or start too far down the grid for the feature race that's coming up next. Shane up to 6th. His next target will be Staffy. 1.2 seconds up the road, and then obviously up the road from here Nick Gishin still leads the race, 1 second from RZDV, so this race is not over. The race for 2nd is not over either. Wezo right on the back of the Mercedes. Heno picking up a penalty, 3 seconds. That'll be for multiple warnings, corner cutting. Yaku in 4th. His teammate up the road in 3rd. And he's going for it. Is he going to go for the pass on the Mercedes? Yes, he does. And he's pulled it off, has he? He goes for the inside. Goes to the outside. Rob doesn't have too much place to go, so I think he had to go slightly off circuit. And as a result, picks up a 3 second penalty. It was probably on his last warning. Mercedes comes back, and they're going to be side by side up the straight. The Mercedes going to have the inside line, and he's going to take that position back. Are they ghosting? Yes, they are. Shane now up into 4th. He goes past Yaku. He's now split the Williams. His next target. 1.5 seconds up the road, but surely time has run out. deep into sector 3 on the final lap. And Shane would have to do something really special to get past another Williams. Well, let's go to your leader. There is your winner. Alpine, Nick Gishin wins from Wezo, gets it at the end there because of penalties. Wezo second, Shane third, Yaku fourth, RZDB fifth, Atmagozi sixth. Means the two Mercedes are fifth and sixth. Shakes in seventh, Top Gun eighth, Destroyer ninth, Top Dog makes up the top 10. And then we have Staffy in 11th, J-Boy 12th, Notshumi 13th, and Henno making up the field. We had 3 retirements, but all the information has disappeared off my screen, so there we go. This might help. And then obviously the 3 retirements in that race were MJ, AD, and Ulrich. But luckily tonight I will have an opportunity to improve on that. That was the sprint race, and the real thing comes up next. If you're still watching, if you're in the comment section, give me some predictions for a race win. Who do you think's gonna do it? You've obviously got some indications from the sprint race, who's quick and who's not. And everyone pretty much looks quick. But let's see who can hold us together in the feature race. Obviously a different race altogether. You have your mandatory stop. Need to use 2 compounds. Going to start on a much heavier fuel tank, which means turn 1 might feel a little different. Approach with caution, but not too much caution. Otherwise you'll be swallowed by the field. And there we go. And we're going straight to the lights. There we go. Formation lap. We're underway. Nick Gishin. He's going to start from pole, obviously winning that sprint race. Wezo second. Shane will start from the second row in third. He'll be next to the second Williams of Yaku. RZDV fifth. At Magozi, he's going to start from 6th place. Shakes from 7th. Top Gun 8th. Destroyer 9th. And Top Gun 10th. Staffy's got more than that. He's going to start from 11th. J-Boy 12th. Notshumi 13th. Eno 14. MJ 15. As a result of his retirement. 80. 16 and Ulrich 17. Those last 3 drivers start from the back because of DNFs in the sprint race. That's the risk of a sprint race. Take too much risk and you could start the feature race not where you want to. If it's me, I always say I'd rather start towards the front or towards the back, but I definitely don't want to start in the middle. So anyway, from 9th to, well, from 8th to 12th is the spots I really fear. Those positions taken up by 4 different manufacturers, an Alfa Romeo, a McLaren, an Aston Martin, and an AlphaTauri. And things will only get more complicated next season. You'll have to wrap your head around Haas becoming Alpha. J-Boy and Heno not getting their parkings properly done. Not Shumi either. Giving it away here on the timing screen. We wait for the 5 red lights. And then they need to go out. And there we go. Off we go. Nick Gishin gets a good start. Wezo gets a good start. Shane gets a good start. Nice by the top 3. Ooh, Shane goes into the back of the Williams. Hopefully no damage for him. For the time being, Nick Gishin, he got a good start at the front and he flies away. RZDV in 4th. The second Williams down to 5th. Shakes in 6th. He's made up a few positions. Destroyer in 7th. Top Gun in 8th. And then J-Boy in 9th. And Apmagozi has lost 4 positions. He's down to 10th. But it's a long race. Still so much can happen. AD making up positions. He's up to 12th place. He is quick at this circuit. And he's got 23 laps between him and the finish line. So there's still a lot that he can do. And throw a safety car or 2 in there. And really the result is far from determined. Another thing we've hardly touched on is we haven't had a red flag, have we? Who's going to make a crash serious enough so that we can experience the red flag? It's the end of the first lap. Nick Gishin still leads from Wezo. 1.4 seconds is the gap. And Shane and RZDV join them just in time as they're trading places, but that means the Alpine is sneaking up on the back of both of them. And that was close. The Alpine seems to have just outbraked himself there. He runs a bit wide, but luckily gets back online. Got a hold of that in time. Everyone at the start of the race trying to make up positions. It's when you're closest. It's before the faster guys run away from you. It's when you're desperate to make up positions. They're right there. You can see them. Now the Alpine of Shakes seriously challenging that Red Bull. Shane in 4th. Seems like Robbie RZDV has been able to just escape up the road slightly for now. Shane goes into the pits. He must have had damage. We just join him in the pits to see if there's a wing change. And there we go, there is a wing change. So he had damage. Means he pops into the pits early on. And he's obviously going to put on a set of hards and try and go as far as he can. Possibly race distance? I can't tell you because I haven't practiced on this track. A large array of tyres being used, all 3 compounds being used. On the mediums, your leader, Nick Gishin. Yaku in 4th. Not Shumi in 7th and Shakes in 8th. Those are your medium runners. You've got 2 hard runners at the back of the field in Shaney and Staffy. Obviously both having similar stories, not having a ideal start to the race and having to go into the pits because of damage. Both putting hards on and looking to go to the end of the race. Wezo and Destroyer also picking to start on the hards. And then we have a whole smattering of cars on the soft compound. Or is it DV? One of those cars, he's on the soft compound and he's defending second place from Wezo. who's on the hard compound. Doing everything he can to defend that position, but just 0.3 of a second is the gap, and they're going to soon be in the DRS zone. And 0.3 of a second is not enough of a buffer. Things going well for now. 17 drivers still out on track. No penalties out on track. Let's just confirm that. Okay, there is the one penalty. That is for Shane. It's 5 seconds. I'm going to guess he sped into the pit lane. I think that's what the 5 seconds is for. Those gaps now starting to grow. Gap between first and second, 2.4 seconds. Gap between second and third, another second. That train starting to split itself apart. Still early days on lap 4. In a couple of laps time we are going to see the effects of those softer compounds starting to come to the end of their lifespan, and we're going to see the advantage for the drivers on the hard. For now, I think everyone on soft should still have an advantage, but when those tires drop off, you're going to want to get rid of them. The Ferrari driver, currently in 8th place, AD. Putting in a lot of practice. He's been picking up a lot of time. Obviously, he's in 8th place, but remember he had to start at the back of the field. Doing a good job so far. And obviously everyone at the back here waiting for that safety car that can give them a second chance in this race. I assume there's no possible rain in this race because would have probably been informed by now. No one mentioning rain. So the only thing that could really shake up this race is probably a safety car. On lap 6, or well, lap 7, go through your field as it stands. 3-second penalty for Shakes. Comes another one of the drivers. Now 3 drivers with penalties early on in the race. Going through the field. Nick still leads 3.7 seconds now, that gap. RZDV still second, but he has built a little bit of a comfort buffer. LP, the Williams not quite so close to his gearbox. Feel that little bit more comfortable when the proximity arrows turn to white rather than red. Wezza doesn't want to fall too far behind because he's being reeled in by a McLaren. Natsumi is in 4th and not too far down the road. He's going to be in DRS. And Natsumi is followed by a Haas. So we still have the remains of the train that we had at the start. 4 cars fighting for that final podium step as it stands. Top two are covered for now. Let's go further back in the field. Here's Top Gun. He's lost out a position. And he's lost out another position. Shane goes through into 12th place. Will Magosi put up a fight? Yes, he does. He comes back nicely, closes the door. And he tells Shane, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to pass me somewhere else. DRS should make this easy. And well, if that was porpoising, don't know if you saw that on your screens, but well, that Red Bull should be broken. Magosi losing out on the exit there of the corner, obviously just trying to come back at Shane, maybe getting on the power a little too early and putting that car sideways. And he'll have to just watch Shane drive down the road. And to make matters worse, he loses a position to Top Gun. Shane carries on. His next target, his teammate. That shouldn't be a very difficult pass. AD in 9th. Has lost a position. Last time we saw him he was in 8th. No change at the front for now. Nick Gishin leads from RZDV. Rev Natsumi up into 3rd. Still, the very large majority of cars on the field do need to make a pit stop. Remember that. 3 cars have made a pit stop. That is Shane, who's currently coming through the field. He's just gone into 10th place, passing his teammate. Then we have Ulrich in 15th and Steffi in 16th. Those 3 cars have made stops. And as I say that, MJ has now also made a stop, and Magosi is in the pits. So the pit lane becoming very busy. Most of these runners, I'm assuming, hards to the end. Maybe mediums. Are mediums risky? Well, MJ comes out on mediums. That Magosi comes out on mediums. That seems to be the strategy with 13 laps remaining. There is the second Alfa Romeo in the second Aston Martin, in the field. Steffi currently 14th. He's on a set of hards. They are 7 laps old. The oldest hards on the track are Wezo, so we'll keep an eye on his laps and just see when those tyres start to drop off. Ulrich makes up another position down the main straight. He passes Top Gun under DRS. Goes up into 12th place. Still trying to recover as many positions as he can. Get himself up into points playing position, possibly the top 5 before the end of this race, or even higher. Who knows? I've said it once, a safety car can change everything. And we haven't had one of those yet. We have had a retirement. It's DRS Wezo DNF showing next to his name. Didn't see what happened. See, we'll ride with Top Gun. He should be going past the incident. No, but we can't see anything. Don't know what happened there. But Wezo has lost his position. He had just come out of the pits because he had brand new mediums on, so wasn't out for long. As we say that, we see Shane going up the inside, very nicely done. He goes past on AD and he's up to 8th place. Picking off one car after the other. AD still in 9th for now. Top Gun makes up the top 10. Ulrich looking to break into that top 10. He's in 11th and just a second away from the Aston Martin. Don't think it's going to be much longer till he's in one of those points paying positions. Obviously tonight not for points, but this is good preparation for what's coming up in the next 10 weeks or so. Staffy becomes the newest member of the penalties club. That is for multiple warnings, corner cutting again. I do apologize for the visuals. This is not a streaming issue. This is my console doing what you see on your screens. So I apologize for that, but there's nothing I can really do on my side. Back to the racing. Staffy now finds himself not too far behind his teammate. Those two cars were very far apart at a stage. Staffy coming back nicely. AD now up into 5th place. He's yet to make a stop. He's on aging softs, 11 lap old softs. He's the driver, besides Top Gun, the only two drivers to have pushed the soft that far, 11 laps. The most anyone's got out of a soft tyre. So he should be coming into the pit shortly. That means he's going to lose that 5th place. Or will he? He's definitely going to lose that 5th place. I keep on reading the timing screens wrong. There we go. He does peel off into the pits. Going to lose that first position immediately to Shane, because Shane was right on the gearbox of that car already. And Shane can go off in pursuit of a podium position. 80 into the pits, and there is a wing change, so there was damage on that car. He was driving it around with damage and stretching the soft as far as he could. Unfortunately, that wing change means it's going to be a lengthy pit stop, and with the cars so close together, it means he's going to come back out even a few more positions down than he would have ideally wanted. Natsumi is the leader of the race at the moment. He's on a set of mediums, they're 12 laps old. He has not pit. And as I say that, he peels off into the pits. Seems like these drivers are listening to me. Still in the lead, his gap was 19 seconds. 23 seconds to RZDV. And he's putting on a set of softs. Let's watch RZDV. Does he also come into the pits? No, he decides to come out. I think he's going to... Natsumi's going to come out awfully close to RZDV. It's going to be really close. And RZDV is out in front. The leader has a 2 lap old set of mediums, and the man in second has a brand new set of softs. Shouldn't be too much of an advantage in it just yet, but once those softs get up to temperature, he might just have just a little on those mediums. Or the DV needs to keep the pace up. Shane currently in 4th. Sure, those hards will have passed their best performance, or they'll be right in the middle of their performance right now. He's in 4th, 2.9 seconds off a podium position. But does he need to make another pit stop? Destroyer, he's in 6th place, having a good race. It's been a quiet race, but a really good race. Just staying out of trouble. Another driver who's coming up through the field this evening is Ulrich. He's in 8th place. Another 3-second time penalty popping up on our screens. Six of the 16 drivers now have penalties, and probably by the end of this race, it's going to be a whole lot more. Judge just commenting on the game, saying it does look good. It definitely does. The only problem I've had with it so far, and I've seen it in the spectator mode, and I've seen it while trying to drive it, is every now and then, I'm not even sure if you can call it a frame rate, it just sort of stops in the middle of a corner, in the braking point. You just don't want it to happen in the wrong spot, but every now and then it just has this really quick freeze frame, and if it's in the wrong place, it can really put you off. Leader of the race is RZDV. He leads by 1.5 seconds from Natsumi. And Nick Gishin, who led quite a majority of this race, he's in 3rd place. But he's got a set of hards, which means at the end of the race, out of those top 3, he's going to have the best tyre. Natsumi on a set of softs. Those softs aren't going to be really fresh on the last few laps, so Nick will definitely have an advantage over him. Ooh, and the 2 Ferraris, almost. Just going wide, making sure there's no contact. But from the angle I first saw it at, I thought we were going to have a really bad Bonotto moment. Luckily, just going wide, and no contact between the Ferraris. Natsumi setting the fastest lap of the race on that set of softs, and he goes into the lead. Let's see if we can get that. Yes, there we go. Natsumi into the lead of this race. He goes past the reigning champion from season 6. And this will be an indication that everyone needs to step up their game going into the new season. Natsumi was a contender for the championship. In the last race, it was still a mathematical possibility that he could have won the race, but he didn't actually make the event. So I believe he finished 3rd in the previous season. Shane has gone into the pits again and come out in 11th place. Fresh set of softs for him. Let's read through your penalties real quick, just to so that you can have an idea when they go over the line. They're not going to go over the line and stay in this order, because there's a lot of penalties on your screen. So first of the penalties is Shakes in 4th place. He's racked up 11 seconds. And then J-Boy, just the 3. Ulrich, also just the 3. MJ up to 6. Shane's got 3. That's not going to help him on his mission back to the front. And then Staffy in 13th place, also with 11 seconds. It's obviously 2 rounds of corner cutting and 1 of speeding in the pit lane. Back at the front, your top three pretty evenly spread for the time being. No imminent battles. Matsumi and RZDV first and second, they're separated by just over a second, so DRS does not come into play, at least on this lap. Gonna have to close that gap a little bit more if you want that extra boost. Nick Gishin in the Alpine, currently third. He's also looking to close that gap into the 1 second range so that he can open up his DRS. Further back, Destroyer still in fifth. Like I say, having a quiet race really. Good result, but quiet race. Every time we go to him, he's looking pretty lonely. As lonely as I am in the comms box. Shane now up to 8th place, nicely done. He's going to have to keep in mind that he's got a 3-second penalty. So whatever position he's in, if he wants to keep it, needs to make sure he's 3 seconds ahead of the car behind him. There we go, we have a retirement. It's J-Boy. Not sure what happened there. He was just parked on the side of the track really. Didn't seem like major damage. But we have our second retirement of the race, and it's brought out a safety car. It's brought out a safety car at a very bad time. 3 laps to go in the race. I'm going to assume we're going to have 2 of those laps behind the safety car, and we're going to have a 1 lap shootout. We had a 2 lap shootout in the sprint race. We thought that was crazy. 2 laps of madness. Well, I think we might just get 1 lap, maybe 2. We might just get a 1 lap sprint race. Abu Dhabi 21, anybody? Some predictions again in the comment section. Calling for the win. The man currently in 6th place, Ulrich, but he's currently going down the order. Not sure what's happened there with him. There we go. He's gone into the pits. Don't know about the win. Obviously, when this safety car does decide to peel into the pit lane, there's not going to be a lot of time. It's going to be interesting to see how this queue forms back together and who's in what position. For the time being, Natsumi leads the race. It's right there behind the safety car, waiting for the race to get going again. It's got RZDV hot on his heels. Let's have a look at the tyres. See where everyone is. Natsumi, who's in the lead, he's on 6 lap old softs, followed by RZDV on mediums, 8 laps old, and then Nick Gishin, he's on a set of hards. So the top 3 have not pit. Shakes in 4th. Ooh, look at that. Shakes in 4th. He's got quite the advantage, does he? We've got a McLaren out. Natsumi has gone into the pit wall. And there we go. His teammate just... Well, sorry about that. Shane drives past him and he will have seen that. I'm not sure what happened. We were following the cars. It was behind safety car. Everyone was going slowly. And the next thing I saw a McLaren going sideways on the straight and bouncing off the pit wall. As we were about to say before we got that surprise from the McLaren, could have had a brilliant result here today, but luckily it doesn't count for the championship and he can come back next week. And that's the one he needs to make sure he finishes. Top 3 now. RZDV leads the 2 Alpines. But as things stand, I'd have to say that Alpine in 3rd place has a major advantage over the 2 cars in front of him. RZDV 9 lap old mediums, Nick Gishin 8 lap old hards. Shakes in third. Brand new softs. 1 lap on them. Gotta say, if it's a 1 or 2 lap sprint to the end, Shakes does have the advantage. Just can't let those 2 cars in front of him get too far up the road on the restart. Can't let them get the jump on him. Needs to stay awake. Make sure he stays on their gearbox. And that tyre advantage could come into play. Shane in 4th. 5 lap old softs. Also one of the fortunate drivers from the safety car, closing up his gaps. There we go, we're at the restart. RZDV does get a good start, but that Alpine's right on his tail. Nick Gishen's going to go for it straight away. Thought about it just for a second and then popped back behind the Mercedes. Thought better of it. But he had a brilliant run to turn 1. Really thought he was going to go for that. But I think at the last minute he thought, how am I going to make this corner and not take the Mercedes out? Shake's currently in 3rd. Making sure there's 2 Alpines on the podium. I'm sure they'd love to see these sort of results next week when it counts. And RZDV, who's been telling me all afternoon how slow he was, fights for the lead of this race, doing everything he can to defend. Gotta defend, there's just 1 lap to go. But Nick Gishen does get around. He now leads this race. And he's on the 9 lap old hards. Shakes is coming up behind Rob on those brand new softs. And we could have an Alpine 1-2 shortly. Shakes almost running into the back of the Mercedes. And again almost running into the back of the Mercedes. Now he's up the inside. Rob loses a bit of traction on the exit. And there we go. That second Alpine does have a set of softs on it, and it's just going to get superior traction than the Merc at this stage. And if they can hold things together, and as I say hold things together, the Merc pulls alongside, and the Alpine says not today, slams the door shut. And I think if RZDV had not backed out of that, that was not going to be pretty. Can you get a red flag on the last lap of the race? Probably not. Top 3, 2 Alpines, and a Mercedes. Further back, MJ, you'll be happy, he's the leading Red Bull. Destroyer in 5th. And Shane in 6th after a very mixed bag. And there we go, 1st and 2nd over the line, nicely done by Alpine, but the penalties will come into play, which means that's ruined a 1-2. RZDV will grab 2nd, Shakes 3rd, Nick Gishen is the winner, Destroyer comes over the line in 4th, MJ in 5th, it's going to be the leading Red Bull, it's got some bragging rights there, Yaku 6th, Shane 7th, Staffy in 8th, Ulrich 9th, and a late DNF it appears for AD, but he will keep that 10th place. Apmagozi 11th, Top Gun 12th, Top Dog 13th, lots of tops in this field, but they're at the bottom. Heno 14th, and then we have DNFs from Natsumi, J-Boy and Wezo. I am going to ask Natsumi about that after the race if I catch him in the party chat, because I'm not sure what happened there. Went sideways on the straights under a safety car. Well, everybody, I want to thank everybody that has joined us for this broadcast. Wasn't sure if we were going to broadcast the pre-season race, but now I'm glad we did. It was very entertaining. Both races, sprint and feature, ended with 2-lap sprints at the end. Great job for the Alpines as a team. They'll want to carry that sort of form into the season. And RZDV can definitely be happy with that second place, considering he was saying he was so slow on the game. There we go. Let's just go through your results one more time. Nick Gishin won that, wins the race. Nicely done. RZDV second. I'm reading the wrong results, aren't I? Yes, I am. Why are there so many results on my screen? There we go. Nick Gishin wins the race from RZDV. Not much in it. Then Shakes in third. Destroyer fourth. MJ fifth. Yaku in sixth. Shane in seventh. Staffy eighth. Ulrich ninth. AD will get that 10th place right at the end. Atmagozi 11th. Top Gun 12. Top Dog 13. And then Heno 14th. Right at the back. Notsumi 15th. Says plus 3 laps, so he did classify as a finisher. And then not classified, your 2 DNFs, J-Boy and Wezo. Again, got that in just in time. Need that screen to stay up just a little longer. Thank you to everybody who did join us for this pre-season race, pre-season broadcast, a test. And yeah, we will be back next week for the real thing, round 1 of season 7. It's going to be at the Red Bull Ring, which also matches up with next week's Formula 1 race. So everyone who joined us tonight, hope to see you on next week's stream. Cheers guys, and thanks.